Hi, my name is Erin. I'm a second semester senior, majoring in psychology, and I'm in Edgewood Styles College.
Hey everyone, my name is Isabel and I'm a junior in Berkeley College, and I'm also an academic strategies peer mentor. So today, Erin and I are going to talk about the importance of reading and understanding your syllabus for a class. So at first glance, your syllabus may look like just a list of key dates and assignments for a course, but it's actually really integral to understanding a course's focus, purpose, and expectations. So yeah, let's get started. We're going to read through the syllabus for Asian American history as an example of what you can generally expect from a course syllabus. In addition to your professor's office hours and contact information, at the very top of the syllabus is the course description. Typically a few sentences summarizing the main topics, concepts, and questions the course will engage with during the semester. The key themes and questions identified in the class's course description can help give you purpose and direction in the readings and other work you do for the course. For example, before you start your first reading, it may be helpful to reread the course description and write down any terms or questions that might seem related to the reading's title. For this course, looking up the terms labor migration or U.S. imperialism would be helpful in contextualizing the readings ahead of time. Next in the syllabus is typically the list of main readings for the course. These texts will give you a sense of the content and trajectory of the class. They will also give you a sense of the most important topics covered in the course and how much reading will be required overall, although for most humanities and social science classes, the bulk of weekly readings will likely be uploaded as files to Canvas. In order to get a better sense of a course, it is helpful to Google the text titles and read the abstracts and author bios. This will help you understand not only the content of the course, but also the kind of perspectives the course will engage. Once you get your syllabus and the list of core texts, it is also helpful to check Orbis, BorrowDirect, LibGen, Yale Textbook Exchange, and other online sources to see if you can find the books you will need at low costs or for free. It's helpful to do this at the beginning of the semester so you don't need to worry later about finding the right readings.
Alright, now let's discuss the breakdown of course assignments and due dates. What is that? Well, the breakdown of course assignments is basically the list of major assignments and due dates that helps you to plan out your work for the course and anticipate when you need to begin thinking about and working on important assignments. The titles of the assignments help to alert you to the kind of work you'll be doing throughout the semester, and many faculty tend to give a more detailed assignment prompt in the weeks leading up to the assignment due date. So for this course, Asian American History, we have the following assignments. There seems to be a midterm paper due on October 8th. It looks like there's an oral history project due on December 10th. It looks like we have an oral history project proposal due on October 26th. And if we go on to the next page, it looks like there's an in-class midterm exam on October 15th and a final exam take-home due on the 17th of December. So what do we do with all this information? How do we use it? Well, as soon as you get your syllabus, you should record all the assignment due dates for the semester. So whether you have a physical planner or you use a GCal, it's just a good idea to write the due date somewhere that you check regularly. That way, as those due dates are nearing, you can prepare accordingly by planning to set aside time to work on the assignment in the weeks leading up to the due date. Also, just knowing when assignments are due gives you the foresight to make an appointment with your professor or TF during office hours to discuss the assignment 1 or 2 weeks before it's due. So for this class, since you have to submit an oral history project proposal to your TF, this might be a good time to set up an appointment with your TF to talk about ideas you have for the oral history project. So now that we've looked at the breakdown of course assignments, we want to look at how the percentage of each assignment contributes to our final grade. So let's first understand what that is. The grading structure, which we can see is right here, basically lets you know how much each assignment or activity is worth in the calculation of your final grade. The different percentages can give you some idea of how much work is expected for each assignment. The more points an assignment is worth, the more time you will likely spend working on it. So for our syllabus here, we can see that class participation accounts for 10% of our grade. The midterm paper, 15%, the midterm exam, 15%, the oral history project, 30%, and final take-home, 30%. Remember that lower percentages don't mean that they're less important. It just means you'll likely be spending less time on it than other assignments. Some faculty also include a rubric in their syllabus, which is a description of the quality of work that earns different kinds of letter grades. You can use rubrics to help understand the expectations faculty have for assignments and then work hard to meet those expectations. In our syllabus here, we don't have a rubric, but it is a good idea to keep an eye out for those when they are available. So now that we have this grading structure, how do we use it? Well, you can use it to plan. As suggested before, how much an assignment is worth for your final grade can give you some indication of how much time you're expected to devote to a given assignment. Plan more time for the bigger assignments, which for here would be the oral history project and the final take-home. And you can also use the grading structure as a guide to the different kinds of work that is expected in this course. So don't discount the impact of smaller assignments, in this case, the 10% class participation, as they can quickly add up to a significant part of your overall grade.
This section provides a guide to the required readings for each week, as well as the topics and themes of a given segment of the course. Here, you can also find reminders for when assignments are due, if any assignments are due on a particular week. For this course, you can see there is a film screening in week 6, the midterm paper due on October 8th, and the in-class midterm on October 15th, and so on. When you have all your syllabi for the semester, use the week-by-week guides to compare due dates, assignments, deadlines, and exam dates for effective planning. It's not uncommon for you to have several significant assignment deadlines in the same week, especially during midterms and the last week of classes.
Hopefully you can use the strategies outlined in this video to help you read and effectively use a course's syllabus to your advantage. It's always a good idea to set aside an hour to do this syllabus review for each course. Remember that by reading and understanding the syllabus thoroughly, you'll be creating a solid foundation for your work in the class. Check out our academic strategies workshops on reading analytically, managing a heavy reading load, succeeding in seminars, and succeeding in lectures for more advice on how to work with purpose. You can also schedule a one-on-one meeting with an academic strategies peer mentor for more guidance.